Have you ever had doubts about the people around you? In a world full of laughter and smiles, sometimes we need to look beyond the friendly face and investigate whether trust is really worth giving. In this video, we'll solve the mystery of 7 types of people who may seem like good friends or partners, but could actually be a huge risk to your trust and well-being. I'll discuss the traits you should be wary of and how to identify potential dangers early on. So, get ready to open your eyes and join me in exploring the deeper world of relationships. Let's talk about the first type, people who are critical and like to spread rumors. In our daily lives, we sometimes encounter individuals who seem to have a hobby of finding fault with others. Not only are they critical of everything, but they also enjoy spreading rumors that can damage the reputation of others. This critical attitude often reflects an important aspect of their personality. These people tend to see things from a negative perspective and are quick to find flaws or faults in others. They may not realize the impact this has on social relationships and trust. If someone regularly speaks ill of others, it could be a signal that their character may be unreliable. Furthermore, the tendency to spread rumors can be a serious indicator of a person's nature. Those who enjoy spreading untrue or derogatory information can create a toxic environment around them. Spreading rumors not only harms the targeted individual, but can also undermine the climate of trust among friends and family. It is important to remember that when we see someone exhibiting critical behavior and fond of spreading rumors, it is not just a warning to stay alert, but also an opportunity to consider whether we really want to cultivate a close relationship with them. Be cautious and consider the long-term impact of their presence in your life, and consider whether they can really be relied upon as a true friend or partner. Let's move on to the second type, self-interested, manipulative individuals. Often we encounter people who have a tendency to take advantage of situations or other people for their own personal gain. They are known for their selfishness, where their behavior is aimed at achieving their own goals without regard for the consequences for others. The manipulation they use can be subtle and difficult to identify directly. They tend to use tactics such as mind games, lying, and emotional exploitation to achieve their desires. Their skill at manipulation often makes others unaware that they are being manipulated. Relying on this kind of individual in a relationship can potentially lead to betrayal, emotional distress, and trust breakdown. It is important to recognize the signs of manipulation, such as lack of clear communication, inconsistent behavior, and a constant sense of being under someone's control. Setting firm boundaries is very important in dealing with manipulative individuals. Communicating assertively, showing discomfort in the face of manipulative behavior, and understanding when to walk away are all important steps to protect yourself. Sometimes it is best to cut ties with such individuals for the sake of your well-being and mental stability. Engaging with people who have manipulative tendencies can have a negative impact on your emotional health and relationships. Therefore, it is important to remain vigilant and wise in recognizing and coping with these types of individuals so that you can maintain your mental health and build more positive relationships. The third type we need to discuss is the person who is overly friendly and focused on popularity. These are individuals who always seem to be happy, smiling, and trying to please everyone around them. They are often extroverts who are always in the center of attention and try to maintain a positive image in the eyes of others. However, it is necessary to be cautious of complete trust in people like this. Sometimes their friendly vibes and popular demeanor are more focused on nurturing their own popularity than building genuine relationships. We may feel drawn into their circle only as a means to support their popularity, rather than as a truly valued friend. People who focus too much on popularity tend to pay more attention to how they look in the eyes of others, rather than developing deep and meaningful relationships. Therefore, it is important to question whether their popularity comes from authenticity or is just part of a show to get attention. When we deal with this kind of individual, we need to be aware of the possibility of them easily replacing us with others who can support their popularity. We should not become mere tools to fulfill their needs for social gain. Watch out for signs that their kindness may not stem from genuine intentions, but rather from maintaining their positive image. Knowing the difference between genuine and fake hospitality can help us make better decisions in building healthy and meaningful relationships. Now let's talk about the fourth type: people who lack empathy and tend to hurt others. These are individuals who seem to have trouble feeling or understanding other people's emotions. They may not be able to put themselves in someone else's shoes or understand the impact their actions have on the feelings of those around them. People who lack empathy are often less reliable due to their lack of ability to understand and respond to the emotional needs of others. They may lack a sense of responsibility for the negative impact they have on others due to a lack of awareness of other people's feelings and experiences. Someone who has an inability to feel empathy tends to be more concerned with their own self-interest, without regard to how their actions may hurt or harm others. This can make them less trustworthy individuals when it comes to supporting and understanding the emotional needs of those around them. Such individuals often do not accept responsibility for their actions, as their main focus is on themselves. When someone feels comfortable hurting others, it shows a lack of empathy that can undermine trust. Therefore, it is important to be cautious about trusting people who do not demonstrate the ability to empathize, as it can impact the emotional health and well-being of your relationships. The fifth type: people who pretend to listen without true engagement. Perhaps you've interacted with someone who seems to give generic responses like, "I understand," or "that's right," during a conversation, but isn't really engaged or paying attention. Such people often use generic responses and speech patterns that can make us believe that they are actually listening, when in fact their minds may be distracted or they are not even really interested. This not only makes the conversation boring, but also creates the impression that we are not valued or cared for. What's even more annoying is when, in turn, it's our turn to speak, they only give the impression of listening without true engagement. This can give a sense of disrespect and be detrimental to the communication experience. If you find yourself talking to someone who seems uninterested or distracted by the conversation, it makes perfect sense to end the discussion. Conversing as if you are only talking to yourself does not provide any meaningful benefit. You don't need to spend time and energy on someone who doesn't appreciate or care about what you have to say. Of course, it's important to understand that everyone can have moments of disinterest or accident. However, if this becomes a recurring pattern of behavior, it's best to be cautious and consider whether it's a healthy, respectful relationship. The sixth type we need to discuss is the two-faced person who spreads gossip about you. These are individuals who may seem very friendly and polite in front of you, but behind the scenes, they are active in spreading gossip or negative information about you to others. They engage in reputation-damaging behavior and can create a social environment filled with uncertainty. The main signs of this type are dishonesty and unfaithfulness. They may constantly be nice in front of you, while behind your back, they actively spread false stories or disseminate information that can harm you. This is not only a form of unfaithfulness, but it is also an act that can damage your social relationships and confidence. Maintaining a relationship with a two-faced, gossipy person can open the door to emotional and social harm. It is important to understand the signs of this behavior and not hesitate to walk away if you notice that someone is systematically trying to ruin your good name. Loyalty and honesty are key elements in building healthy and supportive relationships, and someone who is two-faced and gossipy will often not make a positive contribution to your social circle. The seventh type is the individual who always gets on your nerves and thinks they are always right. We've all encountered someone who, no matter what happens, always seems to insist that his or her opinion is the most correct, and his or her views cannot be questioned. This trait can create discomfort and conflict in everyday interactions. Dealing with someone who is always self-righteous and tends to get on your nerves can be an exhausting experience. They may constantly provoke you with confusing ideas and doubts, even in quiet moments. These kinds of emotional and psychological games are often invisible to the naked eye and can develop gradually, making it difficult to realize the manipulation taking place. People with this tendency are often unwilling to accept other people's points of view or constructive criticism. They can be very difficult to work with or communicate with, as their views are perceived as the only correct ones. If this situation persists, it can create an unhealthy environment and make productive conversations and collaborations difficult. In dealing with this type of individual, it is important to develop effective communication skills and understand when to avoid unnecessary conflict. Sometimes setting boundaries and keeping your distance from people who always insist on being right can be a wise move to maintain your mental and emotional health. I hope this discussion on types of individuals provides useful insights in building healthier and more positive relationships. Recognizing the characteristics of the people around us can help us make wise decisions in choosing friends and life partners. If you enjoyed this content and would like to continue getting useful information on interpersonal relationships, self-defense, and mental health, please feel free to subscribe to our channel. We will continue to strive to provide content that adds value to you. Thank you for your time and attention. If you have any experiences or types of individuals you'd like to share, please do so in the comments section. See you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our interesting content. Have a great day, and thank you for your support.